Miss Fatima Jinnah is a constant source of help and encouragement to me. In the days when I was expecting to be taken as a prisoner by the British government, it was my sister who encouraged me and said hopeful things when revolution was staring me in the face. Her constant care is about my health. Quaid-i-Azam, August 9, 1947. Preface of the Seven Brothers and Sisters of Quaid-i-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, Miss Fatima Jinnah, 1893–1967, his third sister, resembled him the most. In his personal life as well, no one was so close to him. Their father, Jinnah Punja, having died in 1901, Jinnah became her guardian. He also took a keen interest in her education. It was his steadfast support that saw her join the Bandar convent in 1902, and later enrolled in Dr. Ahmad Dental College at Calcutta in 1919, despite the strident family opposition to the very idea of a Khoja girl joining the convent as a boarder, or launching upon a professional course. And when she finally qualified, Jinnah went along with her idea of opening a dental clinic in Bombay, and helped set it up in 1923. Miss Jinnah had first lived with her brother for about 8 years, till 1918, when he got married to Rutanbai. Upon Rutanbai's death in February 1929, Miss Jinnah wound up her clinic, moved into Jinnah's bungalow, and took charge of his house. Thus began the lifelong companionship, which lasted till Jinnah's death on September 11, 1948. In all, Miss Jinnah lived with her brother for about 28 years, including the last 19 years in his life, which, by all accounts, were the more critical, the more trying years in all his life. During these years, the Quaid emerged, slowly but dramatically, from almost political isolation, especially during his self-exile in England during 1931–34, to an almost universal acceptance of his leadership of the newly proclaimed Muslim nation of 100 million, when he snatched victory out of the jaws of defeat, when he struggled long and hard to wrest for Muslims nationhood and statehood by finding a more rational and a more equitable framework for power distribution between India's two major nations, culminating in a startlingly new ordering of the subcontinental cosmos. Miss Jinnah, who not only lived with her brother but also accompanied him on his numerous tours, had developed and displayed a keen sense of the heroic struggle he was waging. There is also evidence to show that he discussed various problems with her, mostly at the breakfast and dinner table. He also confided in her. On Miss Jinnah's part, she was, to quote the Quaid, a constant source of help and encouragement to him, saying hopeful things when revolution was starting him in the face. The thought of doing or sponsoring a biography of her illustrious brother, it seems, came to Miss Jinnah about the time when Hector Bolitho's Jinnah was first published in 1954. Although a good biography, anchored as it was, for the most part, on the personal recollections of Jinnah's professional colleagues, political companions and observers, as well as contemporaries who had something or the other to do with him during his long professional and public career, it was yet generally felt that Bolitho's Jinnah had somehow failed to bring out the real Jinnah in terms of his political life and achievements. Shortly afterwards, Miss Jinnah began looking for a suitable Pakistani author to do a biography of the Quaid, since she believed that only a Pakistani. Mr. Allana assisted Miss Jinnah on the biography, but late in 1964, about the time when she was persuaded to contest the presidential election against Field Marshal Muhammad Ayub Khan as the opposition's nominee, they parted company, due to reasons which have remained undisclosed. Interestingly, the termination of their collaborative venture dampened neither Miss Jinnah nor Mr. Allana. While the former continued with her quest for a suitable author or co-author for the biography till her death on July 8, 1967, the latter remained steadfast to the cause of doing a biography, producing one after Miss Jinnah's death under the title, Quaid-i-Azam Jinnah, The Story of a Nation. To date, it remains the best biography of Jinnah by a Pakistani. The present material recovered along with the Quaid-i-Azam papers from Mahatma Palace after Miss Jinnah's death, and preserved in the National Archives of Pakistan at Islamabad, was presumably written during 1963–64. This is indicated on its title page, which says that it was done by Fatima Jinnah with the assistance of G. Allana. Clearly, Miss Jinnah was the source of information contained in the material, with Mr. Allana's contribution being for the most part limited to improving the original write-up and making it readable. This assumption is based on two material facts. which are within the knowledge of the present editor. First, Mr. Alana, while discussing with him the biography project in some detail, late in 1963, informed him, inter alia, that he was doing, in collaboration with Miss Jinnah, a biography of the Quaid, and that the first 2 chapters on his family background and early years, which had been dictated by Miss Jinnah, would be in quotes, denoting her authorship of them. Second, there are several long passages, without quotes, of course, in Mr. Alana's biography of Jinnah, which are almost identical with those in the material. The material comprises 3 chapters. The first one concentrates chiefly on the last year of the Quaid's life, especially his devotion to Pakistan despite his failing health. The second one delineates his family background and early life, and the third one his days in London and the early years in Bombay when he was struggling to set up his practice. Though somewhat fragmentary, the second and the third chapters contain a good deal of hitherto unpublished material, while the second half of the first chapter confirms Allahi Bakhsh's account of Jinnah's last illness as delineated in his With the Quaid-i-Azam during his last days, 1949. Reconstructed by Miss Jinnah on the basis of her memory without the aid of any diaries or any other written account. In the narrative, the factual position in respect of such inadvertent errors has been explained in footnotes, wherever necessary. Excerpts from Quaid's speeches included in the narrative have been compared with his speeches published in various compilations, and the correct version, along with documentation, has been given in place of those in the original Ms. Excerpts from Allahi Bakhsh's account of Jinnah's last illness have been included, in footnotes, wherever necessary, in juxtaposition to Miss Jinnah's account. Appended to the present memoir are 15 documents which have a direct bearing on Jinnah's early life. These are, 2 and 3, relevant pages from the registers of Sindh Madrasatul Islam and Christian Mission School, 4, Jinnah's library card from the British Museum, dated February 10, 1896. His petition dated April 25, 1893 to the Honorable Society of Lincoln's Inn to excuse him of the Latin portion of the preliminary examination. 6. The Inn's notification of the same date acceding to his petition. 7. The certificate, dated May 25, 1893, of his having passed the preliminary examination. 8. The Inn's notification, dated April 14, 1896, granting his petition to have his name altered on the books of the Society to Muhammad Ali Jinnah. 9. The Inn's notification, dated May 11, 1896, ordering that a certificate be granted him of his admission call to the bar. X. The certificate awarded to him by the Lincoln's Inn which indicates that he was admitted to the Inn on June 5, 1893, and called to the bar on April 29, 1896. XX, and 12, 2 certificates from his tutors, Sir Howard W. Elphinstone and W. Douglas Edwards, dated the 5th and the 6th of March 1896 respectively. 13. His petition dated August 18, 1896 to the Registrar, Bombay High Court, seeking admission as an advocate. 14. A character certificate from P.V. Smith, Chancellor of the Diocese of Manchester, and 15. An extract from the Bombay Civil List which indicates his admission as an advocate. Regrettably though, our efforts to get the missing portions of 2 documents, 12 and 15, have proved fruitless. These documents, except for the first 5, are published here for the first time. It is hoped that they would help researches, as would Miss Jinnah's account, in reconstructing the story of Quaid's student and early professional life. Now it remains to thank those who have helped me in various ways in producing the present volume. I am indebted to the National Archives of Pakistan and its director, Mr. Adi K. Zafar Sheikh, for providing us with a legible photocopy of the material and several photographs, to the National Documentation Centre, Lahore, and to Mr. Nazir Ahmad in particular for making available to us a microfilm of documents, 6-2x, and to Muhammad Ahmad and Khwaja Razi Haider for helping me in the production of the volume. Above all, I am beholden to my nephew, Muhammad Akbar, whose perseverance finally procured for us the last 5 documents from the Bombay High Court. Most of the photographs included in this volume come from the collection of my late lamented friend, Jamiluddin Ahmad, to whom all of us who now specialize on the Quaid and the Pakistan movement owe so much for his pioneering work on these 2 subjects, dating back to the middle 1940s. I am also most grateful to his widow for donating his valuable collection of photographs to the Academy.